It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls. You're an active participant in this show, so write down the phone number 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. You can also email me. I read and respond to every email I get. Read some of them on the air. RandyKABC@gmail.com. That's Randy KABC@gmail.com. And if you have a second, subscribe to the podcast of the show on Apple Podcasts. Search for the KABC News Blitz. This morning, several members of the California Assembly were joined by Mr. Rob Bonta, the Attorney General.
To go big and to go strong.
To go big and to go strong on organized retail theft. They're finally going to take this thing seriously. They've seen the videos of the smash and grabs. They've heard the complaints from residents that nothing seems to be done when people are just rampantly stealing things all over the place. They've heard complaints that Gascon lets everyone out with a slap on the wrist.
Do a Google on YouTube.
But the Assembly says they've listened. They had a bipartisan select committee to hear everyone's complaints, and now they come out with 7 bills that are going to be a game changer and finally end the scourge of organized retail theft. Maybe. Let's listen to the press conference, including they got the big guns in here, the new Speaker of the Assembly, Robert Rivas, to lead us off. Here we go.
Good morning, everybody. Really appreciate everyone making the time. I know it's a busy time here at our state capitol for everyone. And so appreciate everybody who made the time to be here. We truly appreciate so many of you being here at this press conference.
Wait, why was he being sarcastic about that? I see how many press conferences members of the Assembly do to unveil their do-nothing bills. And he's offended that this one about an issue that Californians really care about is getting more press attention than all the other bills. And not this many people went to see Buffy Wicks's press conference yesterday on how she's going to take down Ticketmaster. He's getting a little sassy for being a new speaker.
We truly appreciate so many of you being here at this press conference.
Yeah, so you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to be sarcastic. Don't get off on the wrong foot with the press now, Rivas. You're just starting. Don't get Ashley Zavala on your ass. It's not going to end well for you.
In October of last year, I formed the Assembly Select Committee on retail theft because theft and retail crime were having a chilling effect on our communities.
Still are.
That chilling effect still exists here in 2024. And the goal of this the committee was to act with focus and with urgency here in the Assembly. And also...
Hey, that was a rhyme.
With focus and with urgency here in the Assembly.
There you go. Rivas, if this whole speakership thing doesn't work out, you could be mayor.
And also work to deliver comprehensive, holistic solutions to this problem.
I am really sick of that term, holistic. Because for the longest time, I thought they were talking about like frou-frou, hippy dippy toothpaste. Holistic? No, they're saying holistic with a W. They're going to get every single issue of this solved. It's just, there's a lot of nonsensical politician blather, and people who say holistic, yeah, that's right up there.
Deliver comprehensive, holistic solutions to this problem.
It's one of those things that they say that makes them think they sound smart, like the amount of people that try to insert the phrase dichotomy into things. Just stop.
And I can say that this morning the Assembly is moving forward a comprehensive, balanced, and bipartisan legislative package that seeks to strengthen public safety, protect shoppers and business owners across California.
Sounds good.
And ensure that we deliver real, visible, quality of life improvements to Californians.
You mean I'll be able to safely go to Nordstrom's without it getting ransacked? I'm all for it. If this really is going to do anything. Unfortunately, the California Assembly, the California State Senate, and the California governor don't have the best track record when it comes to doing anything major about this issue. But hey, let's give them a chance. Let's hear their pitch.
And I'm honored and grateful to have so many of my Assembly colleagues here with us this morning. This coalition is the result of the Assembly's process, a process of engaging and listening, of working closely with stakeholders to ensure that we can deliver solutions that work, that truly work for all Californians impacted by retail crime and theft.
It's funny because he's talking about like this, like it's an incredibly difficult problem to solve. What do you do about the fact that people are stealing rampantly and there's very few consequences for them? I don't know. We're going to have to study that one for a while. It's going to take us a minute. And got to get all the stakeholders involved on that one.
And our engagement has included law enforcement officers, small and independent business owners, major retailers here in California, criminal justice organizations, and, of course, everyday Californians.
When they talked to the major retailers, did they talk to that woman at Target that Gavin Newsom yelled at because she blamed him and Prop 47 for her not going after a shoplifter? I bet he hopes that story doesn't go away. Or I bet he hopes that story does go away, but we're not going to let it.
Criminal justice organizations, and, of course, everyday Californians.
By the way, in the backdrop of this, there's like 7 or 8 members of the assembly. There's a person from the Chamber of Commerce, person from the Retailers Association. There's a few different district attorneys up and down the state. And Jackie Irwin brought her district attorney from Ventura. One of the guys in Stanislaus brought his district attorney. The Los Angeles representative is Reggie Jones Sawyer, the former head of the Assembly Public Safety Committee that got sacked after it was pointed out that he was letting a whole bunch of common sense bills die in that committee and then ran very unsuccessfully for Council District 10 in Los Angeles. He did not bring his district attorney, George Gascon. Once again, another meeting of the minds on retail theft, and nobody invites Georgie Porgy.
Quite frankly.
Why is that, George? Why don't people want you at their press conferences?
Do a Google on YouTube.
That's why. Because if you do a Google on YouTube for George Gascon, chances are you'll see one of these smash and grab videos. Probably.
Californians who expect very reasonably for us here at our state capitol to be able to offer solutions to many of their concerns, and that they have this expectation that they can go shopping and do.
This guy's still a little not ready for prime time. He's brand new, though. He'll get used to it.
Go shopping. And
he's also probably not used to this amount of attention. Members of the assembly go on to be relatively anonymous, but we're going to try to change that here. Make sure you know who these people are. So if you like what they're doing, great. If you don't, you can vote them out.
Go shopping and do so safely in their communities. I want to thank our governor, Mr. Gavin Newsom, for his administration's partnership with the Assembly.
Oh, boy. These things always end up sounding like an Oscar speech, a big thank you fest. Don't give me all the congratulations, we're so glad we did this, until you see results. Right now, you're announcing legislation. It hasn't gone through committee. It hasn't passed. It hasn't been signed by the governor. It has not been implemented. So why don't you wait on the patting yourselves on the back? You wrote a bill. Congratulations.
I want to thank our governor, Mr. Gavin Newsom, for his administration's partnership with the Assembly on these proposals, and for our colleagues in the Senate and Pro Tem Mike McGuire for his leadership and for their close their collaboration on this effort as well. Also want to thank our Attorney General Rob Bonta. Thankful for his efforts in this retail.
Boy, this poor guy, he did not think he'd be going on this long. He's not used to being paid attention to. He's from the Central Valley. They usually get ignored.
In this retail theft problem here in California, we're grateful to have his support, and I'm so thankful that he's able to join us here this morning. So our Attorney General, Mr. Rob Bonta.
No applause for you, Bonta. Yes, it's time to bring on the chief law enforcement officer in the state of California, your attorney general, my attorney general, the man with the bucket full of cliches, Mr. Rob Bonta. Let's see if he'll disappoint.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And first, let me just say I'm honored and grateful to have the opportunity to be here. I want to say thank you to
right off, we're starting with the Oscars speech. Everyone's doing such a great job.
To everyone here, this incredible coalition who has been hard at work, heads down, sleeves rolled up, working.
Rob Bonta does not disappoint.
We're focused on the work. We are sleeves rolled up, heads down, arms extended in partnership, arms locked together to collaborate, to deliver.
Don't you worry if you're worried about all the smash and grabs, the organized retail theft, the shoplifting that's going on. Don't you worry. Rob Bonta has rolled his sleeves up. He is going to do the work. He is going to meet the moment head on. Period. Full stop.
to everyone here, this incredible coalition who has been hard at work, heads down, sleeves rolled up, working on solutions to deliver to the people of California. And our pathway forward is with collaboration, with partnership, with teamwork, with listening, with putting all ideas on the table. And
seriously, so far we are 23 seconds in. He hasn't said anything.
And selecting the best ones that move us forward, that really deliver solutions to our communities. And so I want to thank Speaker Rivas. I want to thank all of the legislators who stepped up to author bills to help address our retail crime and organized retail crime challenges throughout California. I want to thank the governor.
Still an Oscar speech, still no actual policy from the guy who's supposed to be heading all the prosecutions, and now we're 41 seconds into this thing.
For his deep...
this guy thinks he can be governor.
For his deep engagement, and also the Senate. This was a team effort, and I think it's important that we continue to commit to that collaboration, to that partnership, to that...
53 seconds of patting himself on the back.
To that working together. And
it's almost like we don't have a massive problem in front of us because everyone's doing such a great job.
I want to say, as California's Chief Law Enforcement Officer, I'm proud to stand with this group of leaders delivering solutions. I'm proud to partner with you. I'm proud to support every one of the bills in the package. They get the job.
You want to tell us about any of them, or are we just going to constantly tell each other how great we are?
They get the job done. They are what we need in response to the challenges that we're facing here in California. And it's important that leaders listen, that they hear the calls of Californians when they say they're worried, they're scared, they're anxious, they're angry. They want change. They want action.
We are a minute and a half into Bonta's speech, and so far he has said absolutely nothing. Nothing of interest. If there was a reporter covering this story, they would have zero things to quote from the Attorney General because all he's given out is platitudes, thank yous, and cliches.
Every type of leadership is about meeting the moment and rising to the occasion, and this is what's required. And so we're stepping up and getting it done.
That is the all-time favorite.
This is change. This is action. These are solutions. And these 7 bills will sharpen California's ability to tackle organized crime head-on, to address retail crime, to hold perpetrators accountable when they...
There is our first A word of the day, everybody. You knew it was going to happen. You knew you were going to hear it all the time. But you can't talk about criminal justice. You can't talk about you can't talk about crime without talking about the magic A word.
Accountability, accountability, accountability.
Accountable when they commit crime, to protect our communities, to keep our businesses safe. 7 bills that will make sure that California remains the best place to live, to work, to do business, to raise a family.
So far, we're still very light on details.
And
it's possible he hasn't read the bills.
And the only way to crack down on organized retail crime is to have an organized response, to be more coordinated, more unified. Again, that teamwork and that partnership. So this package of legislation is emblematic of that partnership, that teamwork, that collaboration. These are real solutions that move the needle and address the problem.
Wow. I didn't expect to get a move the needle, but here we are.
That moves the needle on the inside.
And here in my office at the California DOJ, certainly law enforcement and DAs across the state, the legislature, the governor, we're all committed to holding accountable bad actors.
Oh, there it is again.
Accountability, accountability, accountability.
You can say accountability, but you cannot say that any of the people that you're going to go after, even if all these bills pass, will end up in prison. Because they don't want that.
Holding accountable bad actors, to arresting them and prosecuting them when they commit crime, when they break our laws, and to strengthening our laws and to ending organized retail crime in California.
Look at all these tough on crime people. Tough on crime Bonta. Tough on crime Rivas. Tough on crime Gavin. Has the pendulum actually swung? Or is this a bunch of lip service because they're worried about that initiative to repeal Prop 47 getting on the ballot?
As we know it, and to doing it together. So we've heard the calls from Californians for safety and for solutions, and now we are making a statement to those who are engaged in committing crimes, hurting our communities, stealing from businesses. If you commit those crimes, if you harm our businesses, if you attack our communities, we'll come for you. and this package of legislation
We'll come for you. He said that with so much vim and vigor.
If you commit those crimes, if you harm our businesses, if you attack our communities, we'll come for you.
We will come for you.
And this package of legislation provides for those pathways to hold those accountable who are hurting California. So,
all right, that's 3 accountabilities in 1 3-minute speech.
Accountability, accountability, accountability.
Bonta, you never disappoint me.
very grateful for the opportunity to be here, and I want to take an opportunity to introduce my friend, Select Committee on Retail Crime Chair, Assemblymember Rick Chavez Zbur.
Let's get to the head of the bipartisan select committee. He's the assemblyman in West Hollywood and Beverly Hills and Santa Monica, Rick Chavez Zbur.
Good morning.
And yes, he always sounds like he's stuffed up.
Good morning. I'm proud to serve as a joint author along with Speaker Rivas for AB 2943, the California Retail Theft Reduction Act. This bill is a primary component of a broader comprehensive strategy and package of bills that advances balanced, effective, and meaningful solutions to retail crime and preserves criminal justice reforms that have been effective at keeping our communities safe.
Okay, the fact that he kept this part in makes me a little suspicious.
And preserves criminal justice reforms that have been effective at keeping our communities safe.
So we're going to do something about retail theft, but we're not going to do anything about the criminal justice reforms that got us here, because those reforms, like Prop 47, keep us safe. Zbur, you're not selling this thing very well so far.
And preserves criminal justice reforms that have been effective at keeping our communities safe. It's important to lay out the key elements of my bill. AB 2943 places great emphasis on stopping organized crime rings that are harming our communities by creating a new crime targeting serial retail thieves.
Oh, boy.
It targets those that engage in repeated specified conduct or possess a quantity of goods inconsistent with personal use.
So if they've got a whole warehouse full of stolen Home Depot tools, you could do something about it?
This and other parts of the bill are...
Isn't all of this already law, though? I mean, it's already illegal to steal that much stuff. The problem is the lack of enforcement, the lack of prosecution, the lack of judges that want to do something about this. But sure, we're going to make stealing a crime. Pretty sure it already was. But okay, if you steal a lot of stuff in an organized way, then it's a different crime.
This and other parts of the bill are key components of recommendations released by Governor Newsom's office a couple months ago, and I want to thank him, as well as Attorney General Bonta and Pro Tem McGuire for their leadership on this issue.
Oh, everyone's doing such a great job. We don't actually have a problem because everyone's doing so great up there. We will continue with Rick Chavez Zbur. We'll hear from Kevin McCarty, Jackie Irwin, and Reggie Jones Sawyer, who is disgruntled and angry because he thought that he was the one that was doing something about retail theft. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. You can also email me at randykabc@gmail.com. Let's get back to the sound of members of the Assembly touting out their new bills that are finally going to combat organized retail theft and shoplifting. Let's continue with the head of the Bipartisan Select Committee on Organized Retail Theft, Assemblyman from West Hollywood, Santa Monica, and Beverly Hills, Rick Chavez Zbur.
The bill also more specifically defines how the value of thefts from different victims can be aggregated to charge grand theft.
Okay, that's actually important. That's one of the things that Prop 47 took away, is even if you got arrested 5 different times in 5 different days for 5 different shopliftings, those were all treated as individual cases. They'd all be misdemeanors and they'd all be nothing. If you can aggregate them, which is what other states do, even ones with higher felony thresholds, that means the repeat offenders can go to prison, theoretically.
Notably, the bill clarifies the law that the intent standard can be met by evidence that acts involve the same defendant are substantially similar and occur within 60-day period. AB 2943 also expands the tools for police to arrest for shoplifting and to keep repeat offenders and those committing organized retail crime in custody.
Okay. So we're not talking about citing released. If you're caught stealing, you actually might go to jail. I'd like to see it in practice before I pat this guy on the back. because we have a no bail system here in Los Angeles County. So good luck.
And significantly, this bill helps address the root cause of theft by expanding the use of diversion and rehabilitative programs, offering an opportunity for early discharge if a program is completed.
Okay, once again, you've lost me, Rick Chavez Zbur. So you're going after the thieves, but also this is all about poverty, and we got to go after those root causes. No. Once I hear root causes, you've lost me.
And significantly, this bill helps address the root cause of theft by expanding the use of diversion and rehabilitative programs, offering an opportunity for early discharge if a program is completed.
So if you get arrested for stealing something, but you're a meth head, we'll put you in treatment? Actually, don't mind that. That's how life used to be before Prop 47. But again, we don't need to get rid of Prop 47, which might make it on the ballot this November. We need these bills. These bills are better. Forget that get rid of Prop 47 thing. Listen to me, Rick Chavez Zbur. Actually, wait. Listen to me, Rick Chavez Zbur.
We are finalizing language on 3 additional elements to be added to the California Retail Theft Reduction Act. These are protecting businesses from having nuisance actions brought against them simply for reporting retail crime, addressing...
Was that a thing that was happening? Were businesses getting in trouble from the advocates for going after the stealers?
Addressing the role of online marketplaces and increasing data transparency for large retailers.
Yeah, you know what? If you say you're going to go after all facets of this, we got to go after the thieves. We have to actually have enforcement on the thieves. We got to go after the organizers. But at what point do we also go after Jeff Bezos? Because Amazon openly facilitates the sale of stolen goods and doesn't care. They say they care, but you look at that story we brought you a few weeks ago where you had the organized theft ring that was stealing makeup from Ulta's and Sephora's for years. And they had an online marketplace on Amazon called the Online Makeup Store. And they were selling all of these stolen goods at massive discounts for 10 years. Amazon knows that they're selling stolen goods. They don't care because they profit either way. Just found another story we might get to later this week. Apparently, for the legitimate sellers out there, there's a thing called return scams. Oh, we might do that on Thursday. It's a fun one.
Widespread retail crime is not only bad for business and a source of shopper inconvenience, it is an issue of safety for workers and businesses, as well as an issue of the public's perception of safety. This bill...
Well, actual safety, it's more important than the perception of safety, but sure.
This bill says to organized crime rings, we mean business, and we're going to give law enforcement the tools they need to shut you down. To those who are engaging in shoplifting to survive, these proposals embrace new tools like enhanced supervision and diversion programs to help people get on their feet.
Well, it wouldn't be talking about shoplifting if we didn't get all Jean Valjean on these.
To the public, this bill demonstrates that the effective reform that we need is on its way. I'm grateful to the Speaker for his leadership on AB 2943, and I'm grateful to all of the authors here today, as well as the speakers and the stakeholders and members of the Select Committee for investing in this comprehensive and meaningful set of proposals.
So the aggregating thing, that's good. The diversion programs, we're already kind of doing that. And creating a brand new crime for serial retail theft, even though it's already a crime to do organized retail theft. All right, that's one bill. Who do we got next? It's Kevin McCarty. He is the head of the Public Safety Committee, and he's trying to run for mayor of Sacramento. Let's hear what he has to say.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm proud to be here as an Assembly member, part of this package, but as the chair of the Public Safety Committee. Thank you to our Speaker for leading us together on a bipartisan group, our Attorney General and my middle school classmate, Rob Bonta.
Oh, boy.
Great to see you again in this role. Today is about answering the call. As the Speaker said this past fall, we chose to have a select committee to investigate this. He asked me to chair the Public Safety Committee, and he says we need to bring about more balance and accountability without fully turning back the clock.
If that's what you're leading with, we need accountability, but we also can't turn back the clock on all the things that led us to where we are here. I'm not hopeful for Kevin McCarty.
Accountability, accountability, accountability.
So today, this morning, we are talking, and later today, more importantly, we are acting and voting on 7 measures plus 5 or so more to bring about real answers and accountability to our public safety challenges.
That's the second accountability, and we're only 42 seconds into this.
Accountability, accountability, accountability.
We have a wide-ranging menu of options before us today. We have tools for retailers, for frontline law enforcement, from police and sheriffs to our district attorneys to more effectively bring about accountability. Again, without...
That's the third one. Third accountability in 55 seconds.
Accountability, accountability, accountability.
About accountability, again, without fully reversing and turning back the clock.
Okay, that's the second time he mentioned that. It's getting really hard to take anything Kevin McCarty says seriously.
As far as my measure, AB 1794, it's a companion measure along with our speaker and Mr. Zbur's measure focusing on aggregation, on people who focus on multiple venues, multiple victims, bringing about more tools for law enforcement to hold individuals accountable.
That's the fourth accountable, and we're only a minute 19 in.
Accountability, accountability, accountability.
Plus, we're expanding an effort started right here in my adjacent county, in Yolo County, the Fast Pass program, allowing retailers to go directly to the district attorneys without the police involvement to bring about swifter action and accountability.
Yeah, this is happening in smaller counties. It's happening in Yolo County. I believe they're launching it this week in Stanislaus County, where you have a program where retailers have an app and they can fill out a report that goes straight to the district attorney's office, so you don't even have to worry about the police getting involved. The prosecution will happen. The problem is 1 out of every 4 Californians live in a county which is district attorneyed by this jackass.
We got some wobbly knees allies.
So sending a direct report to George Gascon means absolutely nothing.
Do a Google on YouTube.
Oh, we will.
And lastly, we'll bring about more resources from our state growth program to help DAs implement these efforts. With that, I want to now bring up our colleague in the Assembly. I think it's really important.
Okay. Now we've got a little Jacque Irwin before we get to the main event of this, which is Reggie Jones-Sawyer, who's all pissed off for some reason. He doesn't feel like he's getting enough credit because he thinks he's Mr. Public Safety. But let's hear what Jacque has to say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Berman, and good morning, everybody.
And if there's one thing you need to know about Ventura Assemblywoman Jacque Irwin, it's that she has so much passion in her voice, she does not sound robotic whatsoever.
Our constituents have had enough, and so have we. I would first like to echo my colleagues and thank Speaker Rivas for his leadership in putting together this package. I would also like to thank Assembly Member Zbur for his hard work in the fall through his select committee on retail theft.
I'm hearing a lot of thanking and not a whole lot of policy out of you.
And Mr. McCarty for his work on the Public Safety Committee.
If you want to be in local politics or state politics, just learn how to use the thank you word. Be very thankful. Just tell everyone that they're doing a great job, and you'll move up.
As we've already heard today, across California, shoppers and retailers are frustrated with the impacts of organized retail theft. Californians have had enough. Our role as a legislature is to...
She sold that with the same passion she did when she was doing the press conference about utility bills.
Our constituents have had enough, and so have we. Californians have had enough. Our role as a legislature is to give the law enforcement and our prosecutors the tools they need to address these sophisticated retail theft rings which operate across large regions of California. These criminals are making it harder for consumers to find the products that they want and need, and they threaten their safety and the safety of workers while shopping in local businesses.
So what are we going to do about it, Jacque?
This package of bills does just that, including my bill, AB 1779, which restores the efficiency and effectiveness of joining theft charges from multiple counties into a single case in a single court. This tool was key for prosecutors between 2019 and 2021, but short-sightedly sunset.
So what she's talking about, her bill would make it that if you have people that are stealing in different counties, you can put that all in one courtroom instead of having separate cases for separate counties. There is only one reason you need a bill like that. There's only one reason you need to have a bill that would make it so you could prosecute all of these. And let's say they commit 10 thefts in LA County and 1 in Ventura County. Why would you want to do that in Ventura County? Why would you want to prosecute those cases in Ventura County as opposed to LA County? All signs point back to Gascon.
So we're mindful of all these things, but
It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. If you'd like to send me an email, you can do so, randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. Mark writes in at randykabc@gmail.com and says, Randy, I consider myself something of a wordsmith, and I've been alive for more than 62 years, and in all this time, I never realized the difference between holistic and holistic. Maybe I thought holistic, when used, was always misspelled. I don't know. Anyway, this organized retail crime thing is big in SoCal for sure. Got to prosecute these folks and vote out Gascon. Yes, politicians love to say holistic, which is not patchouli oil. It's doing all the things. It's WHO, the whole thing. They love to use it, and it's so irritating. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. We're going through the sound of the members of the Assembly who have a whole bunch of bills that are going to finally do something about retail crime. Let's go to Reggie Jones-Sawyer, the same Reggie Jones-Sawyer who used to be the head of the Public Safety Committee, who got kicked off because he was killing all the public safety bills. The same Reggie Jones-Sawyer that came in last when he tried to run for LA City Council District 10. He's all uppity because he says he came up with a law to deal with organized retail theft 7 years ago.
In 2017, our Author 10, AB 1065, which created the crime of organized retail theft. This bill was carefully designed to specifically target organized crime rings.
And you know what? Since 2017, we haven't had any problems. Oh, wait.
Many Californians worry that despite this progress, retail theft continues to grow uncontrollably. Yet 63% of California District Attorney's Office reported zero organized retail theft convictions last year. And some of the largest counties in the state, including Sacramento County, San Bernardino County, and Riverside County, reported single-digit organized retail theft felony convictions. By comparison, last year, the Los Angeles County District Attorney, one that's considered soft-end crime, filed 367 organized retail theft cases.
That's a weird statement to make. He's claiming that there have been very few, almost no convictions of his organized retail theft law in 2023. Almost none. Almost none in 63% of the state. He says in some of the major counties, they had one conviction. But then he says, meanwhile, George Gascon, who you guys think is soft on crime, has filed 300 of these cases. But notice how he changed it from convictions to filing. How many convictions has George Gascon gotten?
Quite frankly,
Reggie Jones-Sawyer is misleading everybody. Why are you doing that, Reg? And why are you so angry? Could it be that your political career is over because you're termed out in the Assembly, you tried to run for LA City Council, and you came in dead last? Maybe. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. It's the end of another 4-hour fill-in day for me. I've been filling in for John for the past week and a half. He'll be back on Monday. So I do 3 hours of me and you, noon to 3 every day, and then a 4th hour here, 5 to 6. So at the end of this week, I'm going to be exhausted, but I'm so happy to do it because I love bringing you the stories that matter to us most. That's what we do here. So I'll be back tomorrow from noon to 3, filling in for John. We'll take your phone calls there, and I'll be here taking your phone calls, taking your emails every single day, 5 to 6, the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. If you haven't yet, download the podcast. You can get it at KABC.com. Click on podcast, search for the KABC News Blitz on Apple Podcasts. We'll see you tomorrow for another News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC.